I spent my life in foreign lands. So many men have tried to kill me. I don't remember all their names. I have been sold like a brood mare. I've been shamed and betrayed, raped and defiled. Do you know what kept me standing through all those years in exile? Faith. Not in any gods. Not in myths and legends. In myself. In Daenerys Targaryen. The world hadn't seen a dragon in centuries until my children were born. The Dothraki hadn't crossed the sea. Any sea. They did for me. I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms. And I will.
Hey, fellow Westerosi enthusiasts. Get ready for a roller coaster ride through the realm as we tackle one of the juiciest debates in Game of Thrones lore. Is Daenerys Targaryen the queen we all hope for, or is she just another pawn in the Game of Thrones? We're about to delve into the heart of Dragonfire and Ice, exploring the tumultuous journey of the Mother of Dragons herself. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive deep into the dragon pit of controversy. But first, a quick recap of our fiery queen's journey so far. Born Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, she was whisked away from Westeros as a baby to escape the rebellion that toppled her father, the Mad King Aerys. Raised in exile, she was married off by her older brother Viserys to the Dothraki warlord Khal Drogo in a bid to win his army and reclaim their lost throne. But destiny had other plans. Daenerys quickly evolved from a timid girl into a strong, determined woman. Her transformation went into overdrive when she hatched 3 dragon eggs, becoming the first dragon lord in centuries and earning the title of Mother of Dragons. From there, Daenerys embarked on a quest to liberate the oppressed. She freed the slaves of Astapor, Yunkai, and Meereen, amassing an army of loyal followers. Her journey was not without its hardships. She lost trusted friends, faced betrayal, and made difficult decisions that blurred the line between justice and cruelty. Yet despite these challenges, Daenerys never lost sight of her goal to claim the Iron Throne. She crossed the narrow sea, formed alliances, and went to war against those who stood in her way. Her dragons, now full-grown, were a force to be reckoned with, raining fire and fear upon her enemies. But Daenerys' story is not just a tale of power and conquest. It's also a story of love, loss, and sacrifice. She fell in love with Jon Snow, lost one of her beloved dragons to the Night King, and sacrificed much to help defeat the army of the dead. As we recap her journey, it's clear that Daenerys Targaryen is a complex character. She's compassionate, yet ruthless, visionary, yet impulsive. She's a queen who has faced adversity with courage and determination, always striving to break the wheel of tyranny. But is she really fit to rule, or is she just playing a dangerous Game of Thrones? Hold on to your direwolves, folks, because we've got ourselves a showdown. The question of the hour is, Daenerys Targaryen, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, is she fit to rule the Seven Kingdoms, or is she the embodiment of a power-hungry tyrant? On one side of the battlefield, we have the ardent supporters of Daenerys. They argue that she is a beacon of hope, a breaker of chains, liberating cities and people from the shackles of tyranny. They remind us of her empathy, her resilience, her determination. They point to her dragons, those magnificent creatures of power and flame, not as weapons of war, but as symbols of her strength and resolve. They hail her as a revolutionary, a visionary, a queen who is not afraid to dream of a better world. But on the other side of the divide, we find the skeptics. They question her ability to rule, to make decisions that are not swayed by emotion or the heat of the moment. They point to her fiery temper, her impulsive actions, her sometimes ruthless pursuit of what she believes is right. They argue that she is a conqueror, not a queen, a dragon, not a ruler. They claim that the Seven Kingdoms need a leader who understands the intricacies of governance, not just the thrill of conquest. The debate rages on, as fiery as Drogon's breath, as frosty as the wall. Supporters and skeptics clash, not with swords and spears, but with words and arguments. They dissect her actions, her decisions, her victories, her defeats. They scrutinize her character, her motivations, her strengths, her weaknesses. They weigh the scales of justice, balancing her triumphs against her failures. And now we turn the gavel to you, our esteemed viewers. We're putting Daenerys Targaryen on trial, and the verdict is up to you. Is she the queen that the Seven Kingdoms need, or is she a dragon playing a deadly Game of Thrones? The choice is yours. Let the great debate begin. But before we deliver the final verdict, let's break down the evidence, shall we? We'll start by examining Daenerys' successes. She did, after all, rise from being sold as a bride to a Dothraki Khal to becoming the Queen of Meereen. She managed to amass a vast army comprising of unsullied Dothraki and, yes, dragons. She liberated countless slaves, earning her the title Breaker of Chains. In many ways, she embodied the strength and resilience of a true leader. However, a queen's rule is not judged solely on her victories, but also on her failures. And Daenerys had her share of those. Her intent to bring peace to Slaver's Bay ended up in chaos. Her inability to control her dragons led to the death of many, including innocent children. Her decision to execute Randil and Dickon Tarly, despite their surrender, raised eyebrows and sparked debates on her sense of justice. There's also the matter of her mental stability. The Targaryen lineage is known for its bouts of madness. The infamous Mad King, Aerys II Targaryen, was her father after all. Daenerys' increasing ruthlessness and her decision to burn King's Landing to the ground, despite the city's surrender, definitely puts her mental health into question. Furthermore, her leadership style exhibited signs of a potential tyrant. Her constant assertion that she was the rightful queen and her refusal to consider any other claim to the throne may have been signs of her growing obsession with power. On balance, Daenerys' rule was a mixed bag of successes and failures. While she displayed remarkable resilience, her decisions often led to unnecessary bloodshed and chaos. Her claim to the throne was backed by fierce determination, but her leadership style raised doubts about her suitability as a queen. So grab your popcorn, folks, because things are about to get wilder than the Dothraki Sea. We've heard from the bookworms, the show watchers, and even the White Walkers. The opinions on Daenerys Targaryen's rule are as diverse as the Seven Kingdoms themselves. First off, we have the die-hard Dany fans. To them, Daenerys is the epitome of a strong, independent ruler. They cheer her on as she liberates slaves, takes on tyrants, and breaks the chains of traditional monarchy. She is the queen we chose, they say, and they wouldn't have it any other way. On the other hand, we have the skeptics. They question her decisions, her methods, and most importantly, her readiness to rule. They argue that Daenerys' fiery temper and rigid sense of justice might not be the best combination for a queen. Her heart is in the right place, they say, but the throne requires more than good intentions. Then we have the critics. They believe Daenerys' rule has been a series of blunders, from failed peace treaties to barbecue mishaps. They see her as a pawn in the Game of Thrones, manipulated by those around her. She's just another Targaryen, they say, destined for madness and destruction. And let's not forget the experts, who bring their own unique perspectives to the table. Some see Daenerys as a study in power dynamics, a commentary on the nature of authority and governance. Others view her as a tragic figure, a hero doomed by her own flaws and the weight of her legacy. Finally, we have the fence-sitters, those who can't quite decide where they stand on the issue. They see both the good and the bad in Daenerys, and they're waiting for the final chapters of her story to make up their minds. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Opinions on Daenerys' rule come in all shapes and sizes, reflecting the complexity of her character and the world she inhabits. It's time to pick a dragon and join the debate, because winter is coming and we need to decide who sits on the Iron Throne. After all, in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Where do you stand? And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the verdict. We've journeyed through the dragon-filled skies of Essos, navigated the treacherous political waters of Westeros, and now it's time to deliver our final judgment on Daenerys Targaryen's rule. Drawing from the evidence we've dissected, the fiery debates we've witnessed, and the multitude of opinions we've heard, it's clear that Daenerys' reign is as complex as the Targaryen bloodline itself. Her journey from a pawn to a queen, her transformative leadership, and her revolutionary vision for the Seven Kingdoms have won her many admirers. But her impulsive decisions, her struggle with power, and her fiery wrath have raised many eyebrows. So, is she the queen we all hoped for? Well, she certainly has the audacity, the vision, and the dragons to make a difference. But her rule has been marred by mistakes and tragedies, showing us that even queens are fallible. Is she just another pawn in the Game of Thrones? Absolutely not. She's a game changer, a revolutionary, a breaker of chains. But like everyone else in this bloody and brutal game, she's been manipulated, used, and betrayed. So there you have it, folks. The final verdict: Daenerys Targaryen, the Stormborn, is a queen with a revolutionary vision, but also a tragic figure, making her reign one of the most divisive in the history of Westeros. Daenerys Targaryen will go down in history as one of the most controversial queens of all time. Vala Morgulis, my friends. Until we meet again on the fields of Westeros, keep the fires burning and the stories alive. Subscribe for more content, and remember, in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Choose wisely.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are. Gorgeous beasts.
For the coming war.